What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the Project Rook series. This is going to be episode 6, and there has been a lot of time between this episode and the last one. There's a lot of difference in the car, you can already see. We have it on the ground. Last episode we had it lifted up, took the rear end out and everything. None of this was here. Let's see, the interior was still there, but I had stripped most of it. But there's been so much progression in the past couple months that I haven't documented, sadly. I didn't lose interest in recording it, but I just, it was more on a whim kind of thing where I was working on the car, and so I didn't pick up the camera as often as I was before. But today I really want to jump through and make sure that I can update everybody who's watching this, and at least keeping some kind of continuation and seeing all the progress that has happened over the past 2 months. Last time I uploaded must have been like in late October. I can't remember exactly, but I'm gonna walk around the car and basically discuss everything that's happened. So the front end, this is from the 82 GT right back there. Yeah, I just took it off. It was more for motivation that I put it back on because I didn't want the car to sit for any kind of amount of weeks and I just don't do anything to it. I wanted to make sure that I can see it from outside my window, and I actually just graduated college, so that's what all this canopy and lighting is here for. We just found a reason to put the car under some shade. So yeah, the front end, it went on real nice. There's some lining up things I still have to do. It's mostly mocked up for now, along with the spat right here. This hood has to come off soon. You can see under it, it's just how it looked before. My dad removed the fan and the fan shroud, but yeah, all this is still still ground zero for this half of the car. I do plan in the future to just at least compound and bring some shininess out of these fenders. I know there's some Bondo and rust on them already, but whatever is paint, I would like to bring back and at least be able to see. The trim, I removed all this trim. It was a really tough process. The front and the back as well. I have these still kind of intact. One of the tabs did break off, but the other tab is still nice. These can be repurposed, just cleaned up and repainted down with some trim black. The cowl, I would like to repurpose it as well, or not repurpose, but just repaint it and bring it back to black shine or black new. The outside of the car right here, the roof, the quarters, they still have not been touched with any kind of patina sauce or scrubbed on at all. The only part that I have done was this right here, and you can see even with just my hand there's some shadow reflection, and up here especially. So it looks really good for just like this, like 8 inches or so of some patina sauce on it compared to the entire roof. This right here was touched as well when I did my quarter cell panels, and along with the entire quarter window. So this was maybe a 2-day process. I took these off in the last episode, and now they're back on. I took some WD-40 and quadruple zero steel wool, and it cleaned the heck out of all of it. I actually went over and redid what I had done, the aluminum mag on these. I just went through with that steel wool, that quadruple zero grade steel wool, some WD-40, and it completely renovated or made the shine come out of this aluminum trim. It doesn't look completely showroom shine, kind of, but it's as good as it'll get right now with just some elbow grease and just some work. So I had ordered some butyl tape, some 3M butyl tape from AutoZone. Just went out there, grabbed it, and it's not a perfect seal. Like, I think the factory probably was probably better, but I think the factory also used a thinner butyl. This was 3/8 by 15 feet, so I had plenty to work with. On the other side was the first attempt, and I actually messed that one up on the first try, so I tried again, and then I finished this one. I still had some left over for some gaps to fill in. As well, with this top part, I also took off the quarter trim right here. It was actually really easy to take off, a lot less complicated than I thought it was watching other videos. And with the quarter panel off, and this was completely naked, I'll probably insert some pictures right here to show you the progress of it. So this picture shows just it completely naked. I had scrubbed it off, or at least washed it off. I hadn't scrubbed off any of the rust yet or patina sauce, but that's the naked quarter window with no window, no trim, no cell panel, no roof liner. And then the next picture will show I believe with the patina sauce on it, you can see some reflections on the cell panel side where there was still some paint but not a lot of clear on it at all. And then along with that sauce picture, that's when I sanded it down with a Scotch-Brite right here, where the quarter trim would meet the quarter panel down there, along with the running board. It's kind of the C-pillar right here. And then now we are here where I put on the quarter trim. I put on the black cell panel after I painted it with the other side as well, black painted with some SEM trim, black. And this is the final product of how it's gonna look for at least the version 1 of this car. So I'm really proud of how this came out. I'll show the other side as well. It was a real labor of love, and also along with that, discovered some more reasons behind this really bad cracking in the corner of the roof, which is really bad news. But I mean, you know, this car is a big project from the beginning, so I knew this was gonna happen. So like I said, I took the trim off the front windshield and the back. So taking it off the back, on the other side, you'll see that there is, you know, really nice amount of sealant right here, you know, encapsulating the interior from the exterior with the windshield. And it's really nice. It's lined up nice. I can reach the tabs and everything. And then you come around to the other side. What you didn't see before was that it was completely stuffed to the brim with sealer, or probably butyl. I don't know exactly what kind they used, but man, it was just stuffed. I don't even know how I got the trim off really, but it was really difficult, and I got it off eventually. But there was just so much of that in here that was just blocking any kind of water from coming down and forcing it to the other side. So water was never able to make it out from here down. So it got really fragile up here, and I'm assuming that's probably where some water seeped into the roof and actually just bundled up right here anytime water couldn't get out that way. So thankfully I had the opportunity to, so I just, you know, carved out basically all of the sealer that goes all the way down, and so there's actually a water channel for it to run through now whenever it's, you know, exposed to water. So I also sealed up the massive hole that was right here. An even bigger one was formed under the cell panel, and I'm just praying that it's sealed up for good, so it doesn't expand any more than it already has. So that was one thing I learned when removing the trim. The glass hasn't actually been cleaned yet, or any of the outside right here. The trunk, I think, might have to be redone because it's been exposed for a little bit, and I haven't treated it or nothing at all. The doors will have to be re-patina sauced. In the last video, I showed that there was still rubber from all of the moldings, and I took a heat gun to it and peeled off a lot of it. Some of the sealer even came off, and it's like bare metal under it. But you know, I'm still confident that this can come out pretty good still. But since then, I have also replaced all of the door seals, so it is basically watertight, very well watertight. And I might have to reposition the striker because there is still a bit of a gap between the door to body seal and the actual door itself that you probably can't see on camera right now. But part of the interior, last time you saw it, there was the big installation thing right here. The quarter panels were still there, the roof liner was still here, and since then there was a lot of rust. But I have all my tools and all my whole kind of work shed in the car right now. But I did take everything out. I sanded down all the rust so there's no more rust, and I went in with some MRO industrial black paint, and yeah, it came out really good for you know, putting away all the rust that was, you know, at least on the surface, and showing and making it look a little less, you know, nice looking. So now there's actually like a clean slate just to work off of. So I'll put in the sound deadening soon enough after I take everything out. Let's see what else. I'm still need to look into some kind of sound deadening that I could put on the roof. We have basically all the panels we have, and everything's put the interior back together, but we want to make sure that we get the right color for it because we accidentally bought the wrong color. So and looking at that BA color tagline that was you know, what I thought to be Academy Blue, actually it was the second letter that is the actual primary color of the interior. So BA, A meant for charcoal gray, was the actual color of the interior. So I bought the Academy Blue trim paint from LMR. We tried to paint match it and it did not look good, so or at least it didn't match anything that we had already. So we were kind of confused and did more research on that and found out that it was actually charcoal gray. So we're not tied down to any kind of color just yet on the interior, though we are exploring some options that we may be able to use some nice combinations of colors. We don't have any seats yet. We have the rear seats that we might get reupholstered. We're probably not going to use the original seats that came with the car. This luggage tray back here, well, not the luggage tray, but at least the rear tray that where this towel is, that is unusable, so we have to buy a new one of that. Let's see anything else. There's a whole lot that happened back here. I haven't gotten under the car, but in the trunk, last time you saw it, there was a good amount of rust on it, on these tail lights. I'll talk about the trunk first. So the trunk, yeah, I sanded down everything. I put more sealer because it was rotted through the rust, through the metal. Sealed that up nicely, painted over it so there's no more rust showing, even in the spare tires. Well, I painted all of this the same MRO black, satin black industrial paint that I used for the interior. I used it here on the trunk, so you might see it looks pretty good. Still would like to get some kind of trunk liner that would go around along with the trunk cardboard and the carpet. And so for these taillights, long story about these taillights. So the driver's side is original with the car. The passenger side is not original with the car. So I was lucky enough when I was making a delivery on my job to run into a man who was working on his 86 4i. And I just chopped it up with him and asked him, what his plans were with it and everything. And he said, he's just restoring it and everything. I looked at his taillights because I was still working on mine at the time, and he had some new LMR ones. And I asked him, just like what he did with the originals. And he's like, oh, I still have them. They're still right there. And he showed them to me, and it was just the lenses that he had. He took them off because he had accidentally ordered just the lenses off of LMR, not the entire housing. So he sold me the passenger lens because my passenger lens had a good size hole right here that was cracked and like just completely gone. And so I took that as an opportunity to let me try my luck and see if I can just buy them from this guy. And yeah, he was really nice about it. I threw him a number of $50 and he took it happily. So I got some OEM Ford lenses. Let's see, you can find the Ford right here. So yeah, these are from an 86, so they are gray originally, but I did I sanded them down from 1000, 2000, 5000, and then with some Meguiar's compound. That compound is magic. It worked wonders on this tail light. It makes them look honestly almost better than new. Right now it was masked up from the outside, so I can do all the paint that I needed to on the trunk and make sure that I can get even the tail light side. I also have a new trunk liner that you can see, so the trunk seal is great. The trunk I haven't touched since the video, so it still looks not bad. It has patina sauce on it. It's starting to fade just a little bit, so I'll put even more sauce. This dust is from the trim. This was under the trim. A lot of dirt still needs to come off the car, funny enough, basically just from the outside of it. So that will probably be my next move, if not putting the trim back. And after that, I'll be able to put the trim back on and we'll get a real good look of how the car is going to look completely completed outside as a shell, with no interior, basically no engine when we pull it out. And yeah, we'll go from there. So this is the trim. I did the same process on the outside trim as I did on the sides, the doors, that WD-40 and the quadruple zero steel wool. It worked wonders. This stuff was faded. It was literally orange. It was so coated from the rust, and it came right back to life, and I'm really happy about that. And the dents and everything, they tell more stories along with the rest of the car. So I'm just trying to polish a turd, but I think that turd can look pretty good in the end. So yeah, the tail lights, trunk, trim explained, and that is where it sits right now. Let me close this. Now, this rear bumper I grabbed from the 82, the other one. It was really nice, black. It's still looking good. It changed like the whole look of the car when I put it on with the tail lights, compared to how it looked before. So I'm really happy about this. I cleaned it up good. I funny story, the crash bar originally actually had a massive dent in it on this side, or at least over here. So that's where actually the crack was on the original bumper. So I figured I'll just change the crash bar itself. So basically the whole rear end the whole rear bumper from the black car, from the 82. And now we're down here. This is where things get a little interesting. So the 8.8 that I had shown in the last video, I'm not sure if I showed the 8.8 in the last video, but we had a old rusty 8.8 that my dad had from a Project Fox about 15 years ago. He still saved it, and we repurposed it. So just took a day, sanded it down real good, some Rust-Oleum black paint, did some magic tricks, and we have these strange shocks from the 82 GT that we're lucky enough to have with the car. Then we put our iBox Sportline red springs in there, as you can see. And yeah, and then we have this industrial grade degreaser that my dad was fortunate enough to have from work that we used. It's not 100% done, but it's surface level, pretty good. And yeah, so this rear end is basically complete. We still need to put on the brakes and the brake lines and all that good stuff. But for right now, for mobility's sake, the car is on the floor and rolling around, so that's cool. There's no drive shaft, nothing up ahead right now, but that's a quick story to show what we've done since the last video. We have our Mosier axles, Foxbody length, 31 spline I believe, and then these are just some Cobra wheels that we have for this bad boy over here. Right now it's on the drag pack, so we're not too worried about using these. So yeah, it's just used to roll around. We don't have them on the front yet because those still have the Foxbody spindles, the 4 lugs. So we haven't touched anything from basically the firewall forward. We haven't touched on the car yet. We plan to soon enough, and I'll get a video on that definitely. But you know, this is just to get you guys up on what's happened. So the sticky meats, unfortunately I probably won't stick with these Cobras. I'll probably get my own other set of wheels when the funds are right. And so yeah, that's where she sits right now. Quarter panel, basically from the sail panel forward to the door. This is how I plan for it to look, and this version of the car, you know, until one day we get it painted and this and that, and that's when the car comes all apart again, and it'll just be, you know, twice the amount of work. But for right now, this is how she's sitting. So if there's anything else I missed, I don't think there is. So that's a summary on the car for now. The next episode will probably either be disassembling, you know, the engine and taking that out, either putting in some sound deadening, or doing some patina sauce on the quarter and the roof of the car. And that will be very interesting, because after that point I'll be putting on trim, I'll be putting on the tail lights, and the car from the outside perspective, from the doors back, will be basically done, and that'll be how the car looks. Also, I didn't touch about these mirrors. Cool guy sold us a pair of mirrors for about 80 bucks, manual mirrors, pretty cool. I refurbished them, so I sanded them down real good. The SEM trim black paint I used on both sides, so this is a really a lot much better looking than the stock ones were. It did add to the whole patina part, but I knew I wanted to have some clean, you know, some kind of contrasting parts to the car that were, you know, still look new and original, and other parts that looked like, you know, rust. So these mirrors I'm really proud of the work I did on them. You know, they work really nice. They're still adjustable, move up and down, left and right, cool stuff. I might have to redo these window run channels, because they're not so snug up against it, so water can really just seep in and go straight down to the door. And yeah, so this sealer might not be, you know, the best work, but it's my work and I'm proud of it, so I'm happy to have that done. And so this will be a back shot just to show you guys how the car is looking from the back right here. I wish I had the taillights on it, it would look a lot better. But this is the progress of the car so far. So thank you if you've watched it this far. I don't have the spat, or I do have the spat, but I have it painted and I don't want to put like fresh paint, you know, spat on this dirty stuff. But that's the update of the car so far. We plan on getting the hood from the 82 back there onto this one. But yeah, that's how the car sits right now. Thank you guys for sending up through this update. you know, I plan to post more videos soon enough into this new year, you know, really grinding on this car, getting it running, and posting more videos about it, doing more videos of other cars that we have around, like this black Cobra SY50 up in the front, S97 on the front, another Coupe, 34,000 mile 91 Coupe that we have, that I haven't shown on the channel just yet, and yep, and a race car, but that's under wraps for now. And really appreciate you guys watching this video. Please give me a thumbs up, like, comment, subscribe, share the video with anybody that you think might be interested in any kind of Foxbody stuff like this, you know, 82 front end GT on a coupe. A lot of people don't know necessarily about that kind of combination, but really appreciate you guys for watching. Thank you, have a wonderful day, and peace out.